What if the world's biggest passenger plane, once called a failure, is now making a comeback? The Airbus A380, retired by its own maker in 2021, might soon fly again, and not just as it was, but in a powerful new form. The A380neo. Emirates, the airline that owns more A380s than anyone else, is leading this surprise move. While other airlines gave up, Emirates still believes in its giant. Why? What's changed? And could this really work? The answers are more surprising and more real than you might think. Before we dive into video, please subscribe our channel. The Airbus A380 was once seen as the future of air travel. When it first flew in 2005, it amazed the world. With 2 full decks, 4 engines, and space for over 800 passengers, it was the largest passenger aircraft ever built. People loved the quiet ride, extra space, and smooth flight. Airlines like Emirates, Singapore Airlines, and British Airways made it the crown jewel of their fleets. For a while, it looked like the A380 would rule the skies for decades. But the world changed. The aviation industry started moving in a different direction. Instead of flying hundreds of people on one big plane, airlines began using smaller, more fuel-efficient jets like the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. These planes were cheaper to run, easier to fill, and could land at more airports. Suddenly, the A380 didn't make financial sense for most airlines. It needed special runways, special gates, and burned a lot of fuel. By 2021, Airbus officially stopped making the A380, ending its production just 16 years after it began. Many airlines retired their fleets. Lufthansa, Air France, and Qatar all moved on. The A380, once a symbol of power, became an underdog, but not for Emirates. They stayed loyal. With over 100 A380s, they built a brand around the aircraft's luxury and size. Emirates turned its A380s into flying hotels with showers, lounges, and private suites. Now, with new technology and changing passenger demand, the A380 story may not be over. Emirates believes it can be reborn in a smarter, greener, and more efficient way as the A380neo. And that belief is shaking up the entire industry. In the world of aviation, few names carry as much weight as Sir Tim Clark, the president of Emirates. He isn't just running an airline, he's shaping the future of flying. When others gave up on the A380, he refused to let it die. While Airbus closed the A380 production line in 2021, Sir Tim didn't see an end. He saw a new beginning. He had a bold vision. A modern version of the A380, better than before the A380neo. This wasn't about small updates. Sir Tim sent Airbus a detailed proposal for a redesigned A380 that would use less fuel, weigh less, and perform better. He talked about advanced materials, smaller tails, new wings, and smarter engines. And when Airbus told him the project would cost around $20 billion, he didn't hesitate. His reply? "If you build them, we'll buy them." That one line showed just how serious he is. Why is Sir Tim so passionate? Because Emirates has built a powerful brand around the A380. He knows the plane can still offer something unique: luxury, space, and an unforgettable flying experience. And with new engine technology like Rolls-Royce UltraFan, plus a global demand for better premium travel, he believes the time is right for a comeback. Sir Tim Clark isn't chasing nostalgia. He's betting on progress. His leadership, confidence, and clear business logic are why the A380neo is being talked about seriously again. In an industry full of cautious planners, Sir Tim stands out as a bold visionary. And sometimes, that's exactly what it takes to change history or to bring a giant back to life. The A380neo isn't just a dream, it's a complete redesign of the largest passenger aircraft ever built. Sir Tim Clark's vision goes far beyond cosmetic changes. He wants to rebuild the A380 from the inside out, using 21st century materials, smarter designs, and the latest in aviation tech. One major problem with the original A380 was its weight. With a maximum takeoff weight of over 1.2 million pounds, it consumed huge amounts of fuel. But now, aviation materials have evolved. New aircraft like the Airbus A350 and Boeing 787 use carbon fiber composites. lightweight, strong, and highly efficient. The A380neo would use these modern materials in its wings, fuselage, and interior to cut down weight dramatically. But it doesn't stop there. Sir Tim proposed a smaller tail fin to reduce drag and redesigned wings for better aerodynamics. One exciting feature could be folding wingtips, like those on the Boeing 777X. These would help the massive plane fit more easily at airport gates, making it more airport-friendly. These improvements could make the A380neo 25% cheaper to run, a game-changer for any airline. The vision is clear. A new A380 that keeps the size and luxury passengers love, but solves the fuel, weight, and airport compatibility issues that made airlines walk away. It's not just a repaint or upgrade, it's a rebirth of a legend, rebuilt for the modern world. If Airbus takes this vision seriously, the A380neo could be one of the most impressive engineering comebacks in aviation history. And it all begins with bold redesign, smart materials, and the courage to rethink what's possible. If there's one technology that could make the A380neo possible, it's the engine. And the one everyone's watching is the Rolls-Royce UltraFan. This isn't just a better version of an old engine. It's a revolution in jet propulsion. And for a plane as massive as the A380, it could be the turning point. The original A380 used 4 engines built with 1990s technology, powerful but heavy and fuel-hungry. The UltraFan, on the other hand, is built for the future. It has a geared turbofan design, which allows different parts of the engine to run at their most efficient speeds. This alone boosts performance and cuts fuel use. It also features one of the largest fan blades ever built, 140 inches in diameter, made of lightweight carbon composites. That reduces engine weight while increasing airflow. Even more impressive, the UltraFan is designed to run on 100% sustainable aviation fuel, which could drastically lower carbon emissions. In ground tests in 2023, the UltraFan delivered more than 87,000 pounds of thrust, breaking expectations. Rolls-Royce says it can reduce fuel consumption by 20 to 25% compared to current engines, exactly what Emirates needs to make the A380neo work economically. Sir Tim Clark has shown huge excitement for this engine. He called it a revolution in power, and he's not wrong. This engine could finally give the A380 the fuel efficiency to compete with modern twin-engine jets like the 787 or A350. If the A380neo gets built, the UltraFan could be its beating heart. Quiet, powerful, clean, and smart. A giant aircraft needs a giant leap in engine tech, and Rolls-Royce might just have delivered it. One reason people still love the A380 is simple. It doesn't feel like flying, it feels like something more. Step inside an A380 and you don't just enter a plane. You enter a floating hotel in the sky. The A380 has over 550 cubic meters of cabin space, far more than any other passenger jet. That space has allowed airlines like Emirates to offer something unique. First-class suites with sliding doors, onboard showers, lounges where passengers can socialize, and even walk around space. For many travelers, especially in premium cabins, it's not just about the destination, it's about the experience. This matters even more after the COVID-19 pandemic. Passengers now value personal space, comfort, and privacy like never before. And no aircraft can offer that better than the A380. Emirates understood this early. Their A380s are designed to give travelers something unforgettable, and they've turned that experience into a premium product that people are willing to pay extra for. Even in economy class, the wider fuselage of the A380 means more comfortable seats, a quieter cabin, and a smoother ride, thanks to the plane's weight and size. Sir Tim Clark knows this is a huge advantage. While smaller jets are efficient, none can compete with the luxury, quietness, and comfort of the A380. And if the A380neo becomes a reality, it could take this cabin experience to an even higher level. With lighter, more modern interiors, better lighting, upgraded in-flight entertainment, and smart cabin systems, flying the A380 isn't just transport, it's an event. It creates memories. And in today's world, that emotional connection can be just as valuable as fuel savings. The biggest reason most airlines gave up on the A380 wasn't comfort or size, it was money. The A380 was expensive to buy, expensive to maintain, and needed to be almost full to be profitable. Its list price was around $445 million, and its 4 engines burned huge amounts of fuel. For many carriers, it simply didn't make financial sense. But Emirates is the exception. They operate over 100 A380s, flying to more than 40 destinations daily across 6 continents. How do they make it work? The answer lies in high passenger capacity and smart configurations. Emirates often uses a 2-class layout with up to 615 seats. That's more than any other airline. This helps them achieve competitive seat mile costs when the aircraft is full. Now imagine the A380neo with 25% better fuel efficiency, lower maintenance costs, and still the same massive capacity. That could turn a good business case into a great one. Also, Emirates has already invested heavily in A380-specific infrastructure. Custom hangars, spare parts, pilots, and crew trained for this aircraft, gates and boarding bridges designed just for it. Starting from scratch with new aircraft types would cost them more. Sticking with an upgraded A380 gives them continuity and cost savings. Most importantly, Emirates knows how to sell the experience. Their premium cabins are booked solid because people love flying in comfort. That lets them charge more, which boosts profits. For Emirates, the A380neo isn't a risk, it's a smart bet backed by numbers, infrastructure, and brand power. They've already made the original A380 work. Now, with new tech, they believe they can make it even more profitable. At first glance, the idea of reviving a huge 4-engine aircraft like the A380 seems completely against modern climate goals. After all, airlines are under pressure to cut emissions, use less fuel, and fly smarter. So how could a giant like the A380neo possibly be good for the planet? Surprisingly, it might be. The secret lies in efficiency per seat. A fully loaded A380neo, with next-generation engines like the UltraFan and a redesigned lighter airframe, could actually use less fuel per passenger than running 2 smaller jets carrying the same number of people. That means fewer flights, fewer takeoffs and landings, and potentially less total emissions on certain busy routes. Major hubs like Heathrow, JFK, and Narita are slot-constrained. They can't add more flights. So the only way to handle growing demand is to fly bigger planes. If those planes are efficient, the math works out in their favor. And the planet's. The A380neo would also be compatible with 100% sustainable aviation fuel, a cleaner alternative expected to grow 70-fold by 2050. It could include green technologies like electric taxiing systems to save fuel on the ground, advanced winglets to reduce drag lighter interiors to cut fuel burn. Sir Tim Clark has argued that big can be green, and in many cases, he's right. The environment isn't just about smaller jets. It's about smart design and smarter strategy. In a world demanding both comfort and climate care, the A380neo could become a new kind of eco-leader, proving that size doesn't have to come at the planet's expense. As exciting as the A380neo sounds, there's one big problem. Airbus isn't ready to build it. And the reason goes beyond money. It's about the enormous effort required to restart something they already shut down completely. When Airbus ended A380 production in 2021, it didn't just pause the line, it dismantled it. The specialized tools, jigs, and assembly stations were removed. Engineering teams were reassigned. Suppliers were told to stop making parts. Restarting the program now would mean rebuilding the supply chain from scratch, retraining staff, and recertifying everything under today's stricter aviation regulations. That's not just expensive. It's risky. Airbus estimates it would cost 15 to 20 billion euros to bring the A380neo to life. And for a company already focused on more popular models like the A320neo, A350, and the future hydrogen aircraft, investing billions into a program they already abandoned feels like a step backwards, unless they have multiple guaranteed buyers. Right now, only Emirates is ready to commit. Other big A380 users like Lufthansa, Qantas, and British Airways are either retiring their fleets or putting expansion plans on hold. Without at least 3 or 4 major buyers, Airbus simply can't justify the massive investment. Even Sir Tim Clark admits this. He knows Emirates can't do it alone, but he's hoping that if Emirates leads the charge, others might follow, especially airlines facing full airports and booming long-haul demand. Until that happens, the A380neo remains just a proposal, sitting on a designer's desk waiting for the right moment to lift off. So, the real catch? The technology is ready. The vision is bold. But Airbus needs more than belief. It needs backup. The A380neo may sound like a fantasy, but it's rooted in real potential smarter engines, greener materials, and a passenger experience no other plane can match. Emirates believes in it. Sir Tim Clark is willing to back it. And if a few more airlines join, the skies might just welcome this giant once again. In aviation, bold ideas often face doubt until they fly. So, will the A380neo rise again? The truth is, it just might. If you loved this journey into the future of flight, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring aviation stories.